Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the channel and thank you so much for taking your own time out to check out my spoiler-free review of Christopher Nolan's latest movie, Oppenheimer, which is directed by Christopher Nolan and starring people such as Cillian Murphy, Robert Downey Jr, Emily Blunt, Rami Malek, and so many more. And this tells the story of Robert Oppenheimer and his team of scientists who tried to create the atomic bomb. Now, just before we get a little bit further into today's review, I would like to say a huge thank you to all my awesome Patreons who help to really support the channel. If you're interested in joining Patreon, and if you're interested in buying some merch or checking out my debut book, there is a link down below in the description box you can click where you can find all that good stuff. Over on Patreon, memberships start from only £2 per month. You get access to so much extra content such as early videos, movie reviews, watch parties, and so much more. So yeah, going into this movie, I could see that I was kind of intrigued for it. I'm going to be honest, the trailers didn't really sell me on this movie, especially not that original tease trailer like 9 months or so ago, whenever it was. I just wanted to take this movie for what it is. Now, I am a fan of Christopher Nolan's work. I am a big fan of his work, and I do like most of his movies that I have seen thus far. So getting out of the midday showing of Oppenheimer just now, I can say that this is a well-made movie. I can say that it is an interesting movie. I think it's great that this is actually being told on big screen for audiences like myself. The acting is absolutely top-notch here. The cinematography is absolutely stunning. The use of the practical effects for the big moments, even the smaller moments, is done so well. There's an abundance of positives with this movie, but I am going to say it is far too long. As I mentioned before with those positives, kind of just to add a little bit to there, the music here is done also really well, just only amplifying the tension filled moments, all those kind of just like quieter kind of like subtle moments. It's still there, it's still present, it's still prominent, and the use of the editing here, I think at times is done really well, where we're not just getting our stories, but we're kind of getting like flashes of what this kind of nuclear kind of weapon could do and the damage that it can cause in these kind of flashing sequences. I think that they're done well most of the time. There is a couple of times I was a bit like, I don't really need this here. We don't really need this kind of extra amplification of like the noise. I don't think it would really kind of like added anything like in that moment, but I definitely get the reason why they did the decisions that they did. As I mentioned, the acting all around and across the board is fantastic. If you're a fan of Florence Pugh, all I will say is you definitely get something a little bit extra in this movie without going into spoilers. And yeah, overall I just think that this is a great movie. It is one I will add to the collection, but I will also say it's not one that I think I would revisit time and time again. Like for me, it hasn't got that massive rewatchability factor, say like the likes of the Dark Knight trilogy or like Inception has for me personally, but it is still one that I would like to maybe check out in the future, because there is things that happen in the story as it goes on that kind of, you know, things happen maybe in the movie kind of earlier on that kind of alludes and kind of foreshadows as to what's going to happen a little bit later, and I kind of didn't really expect that to a degree, so it was kind of like a nice pleasant surprise. I would definitely say the biggest standouts for me in this movie though, of course, is Cillian Murphy as J. Robert Oppenheimer, and of course Robert Downey Jr. as Strauss. I think both of those two give the best performances here. As I mentioned with the negatives, gonna be honest, the movie is a little bit too long. Now this does clock in at 3 hours. I personally think this could have been trimmed down to at least 2.5, and I think the tension in those moments would have been built far superior for me personally. And I also think that this is a movie that is not going to cater to everyone. Now, of course, it depends how you read this movie, kind of your interests in history, or if you kind of just want a movie that has got a lot of dialogue, because this is what this is. This is what it is, and I think some people, if they don't kind of go and expect this and just give it a chance, they're either going to be blown away and absolutely mesmerized, or they're just going to be absolutely bored to tears. So I think it depends that it's the audience that goes for this. It's not for like an average cinema goer who just thinks, you know, let's check what movies are on this week. Oh, Oppenheimer, yeah, let's give that a go. No, I think people may be more tailored towards like for Barbie, for like that kind of decision, like as I'm releasing this review. But as for my overall score for Oppenheimer, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. But have you seen this movie? Does it interest you? Are you even going to spend your time to check it out? Well, leave any and all comments down below so we can continue the discussion down there. If you've enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel by clicking the red button down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And until then, I will see you later.